Imagine you're sitting at your kitchen table. It's late. You've got your monthly budget spread out in front of you. Mortgage, groceries, that crippling student loan payment you've been trying to ignore. You're just trying to squeeze out an extra $50 to fix a leaking sink. Suddenly, bam! A guy in a suit kicks down your front door. He doesn't want your TV. He walks right up to your table, takes a thick black marker, and circles a massive chunk of your paycheck. He tells you, this is for the neighborhood watch. We need to buy a tank for the guy 3 streets over. Also, we need to widen your driveway so the tank can park there. Oh, and if that guy picks a fight with a bear, you have to go fight the bear.
Welcome to the reality of NATO in 2025. For decades, we've been sold a story about collective security and peace dividends. But if you pull back the curtain and look at the ledger, the real ledger, you don't see peace. You see a financial black hole so massive it warps the gravity of the global economy. We're talking about a combined defense bill that hit $1.47 trillion in 2024. That is not a typo. That is a T. In this video, we aren't talking about battlefield tactics or moral high grounds. We're following the money. We're ripping apart the budget of the world's most expensive club to show you how security became the ultimate pyramid scheme. Buckle up. It's about to get expensive. Let's start with the most boring-sounding yet financially devastating phrase in modern politics, the 2% guideline. Back in 2014, the deal was simple. Every member nation needed to spend at least 2% of their GDP on defense. Back then, only 3 allies actually did it: the US, the UK, and Greece. Everyone else was free riding, the roommates who claim they'll buy toilet paper next time but never do. Flash forward to 2024. The bill has come due. 23 out of 32 members have now hit that 2% target. You might think, great, fair share. Wrong. Look at Germany. For decades, the German economy ran on cheap Russian gas and low defense spending. They built cars and infrastructure. They had a surplus. Then, almost overnight, they announced that Zeitenwende, a turning point. They slapped a $100 billion fund on the table to modernize their military. Where does that money come from? It comes from debt. It comes from slashing budgets for education, healthcare, and green energy. But here's the darker reality, the inflationary spiral. When 32 rich countries all try to buy tanks and missiles at the exact same time, prices skyrocket, supply and demand. Now, you're looking at upwards of $8,000. You're paying 4 times the price for the exact same bang.
Okay, so we've bought the tanks. Now, how do you move them? Moving a 70-ton Abrams tank from a port in Portugal to a forest in Estonia without collapsing every bridge along the way is a financial catastrophe. During the Cold War, Europe's infrastructure was built for war. But after the Berlin Wall fell, they built pretty bridges designed for Volkswagens, not heavy armor. Now, NATO is expanding to the Russian border, and the infrastructure to support it doesn't exist. Enter military mobility. The EU is spending billions to reinforce bridges and widen tunnels solely for NATO armor. This is the hidden tax. When your government passes an infrastructure bill, they aren't just fixing the pothole on your street, they're reinforcing a highway interchange so it can support a heavy equipment transporter heading east. With Finland and Sweden joining, we are effectively terraforming the logistics map of Northern Europe. It's a logistical bottomless pit.
In economics, competition drives prices down. In the military world, competition drives prices up. It's called the security dilemma. NATO expands. Russia views this as a threat and spends more. NATO panics and spends even more. Repeat until you're bankrupt. By turning the Baltic Sea into a NATO lake, the risk premium has returned. Building a factory in Poland or Estonia now carries a higher geopolitical risk. Insurance rates are climbing. And the math of modern war is losing. To stop a $100,000 drone, we are firing $2 million missiles. The exchange rate is financially unsustainable. We've stretched the shield thinner, which means we have to buy more shield. It's a recurring subscription cost that never cancels.
If you want to know why NATO expansion is pushed so hard, stop looking at maps and start looking at stock portfolios. We are witnessing the greatest wealth transfer in history, disguised as defense. The beneficiaries? The Big Five: Lockheed Martin, RTX, Boeing, Northrop Grumman, and General Dynamics. When Finland joins NATO, they don't just get a membership card, they get an invoice. Finland recently ordered 64 F-35 jets for $8.4 billion. That's 15% of their entire annual budget. But here's the kicker: the life cycle trap. You can't fix an F-35 in your garage. You don't even own the software code. By buying these jets, nations sign 40-year contracts for maintenance and proprietary parts. It's the inkjet printer model of warfare. The printer's expensive, but the ink is where they own you. There is a cost that doesn't show up on a balance sheet: human capital. When we pump trillions into defense, our best engineers and AI researchers stop working on clean energy or curing cancer. They go where the money is, building loitering munitions. We are optimizing our best minds to blow things up. And how are we paying for it? Credit cards. The era of free money is over. In 2025, NATO nations are borrowing at 4 or 5% interest to buy these weapons. The U.S. now spends more on interest payments for its debt than it does on its entire military budget. We are stealing from the retirement accounts of the working class to pay the premiums on a geopolitical insurance policy that might never pay out. NATO expansion is sold to you as a moral imperative. They tell you it's about freedom, and maybe it is, but freedom has a price tag, and that bill is being hidden from you. It's hidden in inflation, it's hidden in debt, it's hidden in the crumbling bridges your city can't afford to fix because they bought a fighter jet instead. The real cost of NATO expansion isn't just money, it's opportunity. It's the world we didn't build because we were too busy fortifying this one. If you want to understand the world, don't listen to the speeches. Watch the tickers. Follow the money. Because while ideologies change and borders move, the debt is forever. Outro. If this made you look at your tax bill differently, smash that like button. Subscribe for our next deep dive into the collapse of the petrodollar. Thanks for watching. Keep your wallet close. I'll see you in the next one.